Welcome to the Indigo Escape. We're Omar and Andrea, and in 2021 we bought this 3,400 square meter piece of abandoned land with a 100-year-old stone house and some outbuildings for just 32,000 euros. First, we settled into our container home to get comfy on our new land. Then, with the help of our talented brother-in-law Simon, we kicked off the first phase of renovations, starting with this outbuilding right here. Come along as we bring this old place back to life. Oh wow, we're at the side of the house.
So as you can see, we've taken all the tiles off the roof here, and there's still quite a mess from where we left off, and that was because I had to do other things like strimming. So now I've got the time, I'm going to give it a good tidy up, ready for tomorrow because Simon's coming back and we're going to start removing some of the woodwork. So yeah, let's get to it.
Now it's safe to take down the roof.
This could be our future bedroom.
We're just here watching because there's not a lot of space.
No, it's a bit precarious.
They're going to make a fortune if it lands on top of me on YouTube. You have to give try some.
One, two, three.
Ta-da!
So the wall behind us is really quite precarious, is the word of the day. We're basically going to pull off some of the supporting posts and a lot of the roof is going to collapse, and we're going to be far away from it because it is a little bit too dangerous for us to be trying to take it down bit by bit at the moment.
Ready?
Yep. One, two, three.
Pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh!
It's not going to go when this comes out, you wait.
Okay, one more and it will go from the top there. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Just want to get
one more and it will go.
from under it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Come on.
Oh my god.
Who's the dad? Should we do it again without the dust?
With the roof remains finally down, it was time to tackle the walls, but not all of them. The wall facing the road will stay since it's straight. This one will be taken halfway down because it's leaning outwards, and we'll completely remove this wall because it's not connected tightly to the others. A bit of this wall would also be dismantled to make room for a new doorway and a corner pillar to secure the door wall to the window wall. And while Omar and I sorted the stones out, saving the bigger and medium ones to rebuild the walls and the smaller ones as rubble, Simon rendered the top of the walls to protect them from the weather. Really early, I'm gonna keep that. That's pretty cool.
So one pile, that's our main fire pile, so that pile will be feeding that pile.
Trusted.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that is very good.
Look.
It's so beautiful.
Definitely.
That's your 25.
That's our cornerstone.
There.
You should sign it, Simon.
Oh yeah.
Why am I signing it? It's your stone.
So we're only going to have that stone on the bottom, and then we're going to use those cornerstones over there to build the corner on top of that stone.
Yeah.
Because they're a lot more square.
Straight.
That's not got a nice
So
square
you can
top.
do a dunk, 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 dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doorway ones.
Hey guys, just a quick break just to announce some exciting news. We're going to be launching our website very soon with some recipes and blog posts about our journey here in Portugal, and that's all being possible thanks to Squarespace. Squarespace makes it super easy to create personalized websites. With their new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint, you can get started fast. They have tons of modern templates and customization options, so your site will look exactly how you want it. They also have an app, so if you want to check all your analytics, you can do it through your phone. Connecting your social media and adding multimedia is a breeze, and it's perfect for portfolios, business sites, or journals. Building a website has never been this fun or easy. Once you're ready to get started, go to squarespace.com to get a free trial, and once you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/theIndigoScape to get 10% off your first purchase of a domain our website. So why wait? Get your online presence going and running with Squarespace today. Well, it's all done over here. Well, sort of. We got halfway there with the foundation. We didn't have enough brittle to continue the other side, so we're gonna do that later on, but at least this one is completely done. This is a cage for the foundation. He's actually going to fill it in today, and that's basically where the wall is going to continue towards that direction. And if you see here, this here is going to be a corner for the facade of the stone, and the same is going to happen over here. Okay, so it's going to look really pretty.
Alright, so over here we're going to be changing this area a little bit. Originally this was just like a, I suppose you could call it a window or a peephole. We're going to close that up and we're actually going to put the window just above it over here. And so I've got a slidey double glazed window. That's going to be positioned over here. So what we're going to do now is just fill this space in. We really wanted to keep this drop, but it would entail us taking down a lot more of the wall and we don't want to do that. But we've still got plenty more of this kind of stuff elsewhere, so no worries about that.
Some stuff in these bits that have broken away before to bring it out a bit. It doesn't go in a little bit like that old wall does, doesn't it? That's come out well though, it's just ducking in a little bit to start straightening it up. This is in level, this edge.
So as you can see, we've put our first rock in over here. We're just going to use these kind of stones to stitch the stonework around the corner and so it blends in. Now we need to get rid of that, all that water. So we just had the most crazy downpour of rain, and it just happened to be timed at the same time as our delivery for all of our stuff. It was very interesting trying to get it all in here in, man, like proper rain.
Unfortunately, at that point in time, we had to go back to the UK for family reasons. While we were away, Simon continued the works, and this is what he achieved in those 4 months. Simon started to build up the stone cladding next to the window opening and installed prefab concrete lintels, which were then shuttered. Next, he connected the door wall to the window wall with stone cladding. To secure everything, a metal cage will tie the inner door wall to the concrete block wall. Half of the door wall was kept as it was straight, so the rest will be built in concrete block and then rendered. The new wall, the window wall, will be built 100% out of concrete blocks and will be completely cladded in stone. Simon also installed French drains, starting from the highest elevation near the road and running downwards to the other end of the room. These drains connect to the outside towards the courtyard, directing water away from the building. Additionally, grey water and sewage pipes were installed for the ensuite toilet. We arrived just in time to see the ring beam being poured before the roof was installed. We still have that one there to do. So the pouring of the concrete is done for the ring beam, which is amazing. And yes, a lovely day, look at this. And it's quiet, gorgeous, very, very, very nice day. While the ring beam cures, we tackled other jobs, such as working on the gable wall and reusing the stones we took down earlier. Once the ring beam had cured, Simon started working on building the gable walls. Yes! Then, using the water bubble method and the recently built gable wall, we calculated the height of the next gable wall and determined the slope towards the other walls.
So that's got to go in there.
To reinforce the gable wall and support the roof, we casted a cage reinforced beam in the center of the wall. Finally, the gable walls were shuttered and poured with concrete. The next bit that you're gonna see is going to be the roof. It's gonna be really quick because there's gonna be 4 people working on it. And we got a nice vineyard here. Yay! The next day, Simon, Josh, Manel and Omar were ready to start the roof. First, they start with the ridge beam and cut it to size. We are using glue lam or glued laminated timber for the ridge beam. A diagonal cut or a scarf joint is made so this roof in the future can be extended.
That way. You're right, Omar. You've got all the way there. okay?
Yeah, okay. Maybe I should have put the rope on first, shouldn't I? You alright, Omar?
Yeah, okay for a while.
You sure?
Yeah, hurry up though.
Next, we moved on to the wall plates, but first we removed the ring beam shuttering and measure the length and width needed for the wall plates.
4 and 3.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Stay ahead of the game.
Yeah.
After that, we measure each rafter individually since the room area is quite unique. We avoided making the room square as it would have taken up too much space and made the room smaller.
What do you reckon?
Are we
Is it
ready?
going to fit?
I reckon it'll work. I reckon it's going to be perfect.
Otherwise,
Whoa! Look at
Wow.
that for a sexy, snuggly fit.
Doesn't cover what?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's it.
nice.
After all the rafters were nailed down, we added a 3mm reflective insulation that also acts as a vapor barrier. Meanwhile, Josh cut all the rafter ends.
Heads. Heads. Heads.
After all the rafters were cut and most of the insulation was added to the roof, it was time to add the tile battens. Manel engineered a jig so all the battens were spaced out equally. Since there is no tile holding the very last tile row, you need to add 2 battens to continue the slope of the roof. And then, using the batted jig, the rest are added on.
You guys look cool with their glasses on.
We are.
The next day, it was time to stack the roof tiles in piles of 5 or 6, evenly spread out on top of the roof. This preparation makes it easier to begin roofing. With the roof completed, it was time to focus on this wall. Being a gable wall is much more difficult to clad with stones due to its height. As the tallest side of the building, scaffolding is needed to reach the highest parts. A string is attached to either side of the wall so someone can use it as a guide, ensuring he places the stone at the same distance from the inside concrete wall for cladding. In the future, this wall will be pointed to protect it from the elements.
So over here, that's the ventilation from the toilet.
To continue the stone cladding, we installed the window lintels. We needed 3 prefab concrete lintels to cover the 55 cm wall thickness. Next, the lintels were shuttered and poured with concrete, and after curing, the shuttering was ready to be removed.
Very important.
Earl Grey tea, the best tea. Look at that.
Next, we move indoors to apply lime render to the walls. When you have uneven walls, you need to apply several layers of lime. You must wait for each layer to dry before applying the next. To apply lime, you first need to brush any dirt off the wall. Then wet the wall with a brush to help the lime stick. After that, flick the lime onto the wall, and as you can see, it's not easy. Once Simon finished applying a second coat of lime on the walls, the concrete floor was ready to be poured. We used a lot of smaller rocks and unusable tiles from the demolition as rubble for the foundation. The pour will be done in two parts. We will start with this side first. The shuttering was custom built so we could use this long piece of metal, the longest straight piece of metal we could find, to level the concrete.
Look how pretty. Finished.
Yes.
Whee! Look at a floor. Well done, Simon.
Well done, team. Come on, group effort there.
All right.
The first layer of mortar on the lintels was also completed. Just before applying the lime, you need to leave a rugged texture so the lime adheres properly later. The second section of the floor was poured as well, leaving the necessary gaps for the shower and the pipes for the toilet and the sink. Additionally, we experimented with clay pigments to finish off the reveals. After the interior wall was built with blocks, Simon added a pre-made cement lintel for the door opening and rendered the sides of the opening as well. In the main room, the electrical cables and sockets were installed and the openings were prepared for the plumbing pipes. After the blocks are placed, it's time to add the first layer of render, which has a very watery but gritty consistency. This will allow the subsequent layers to adhere properly.
You know what a boulder is?
Boulder is a bucket.
Correct, Amanda.
Now that the walls are done and the render is curing, we can start on the ring beam. These internal walls will be supporting some of the ceiling joists, so they need a robust finish. More blocks were added to heighten the wall and support the main beam for the joists. Then the main beam was placed and 10mm thread bars were inserted into the walls for the wall plates.
Fingers crossed, because it's really tricky to get them to line up. This one's holding lovely.
Right, so we're putting in the notches of the main ceiling beam. Already notched, nice and straight. And now we just have to cut out all of the
Ceiling rafters.
ceiling rafters. Yeah, that's right.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna show you, it's looking a lot more like a room.
It's just really good.
Both the windowsill and the lintel took a while to figure out. We wanted wooden lintels but couldn't find anything large enough without spending a lot of money. So we decided to render them with clay pigments we had already on the land. For the windowsills we wanted stone, but again they cost a lot. So we used leftover slate from a previous project to save money.
This way, you know.
Yeah.
Mix, so it's going to be really hard on the arms today.
But 36 for June, 38 for June is way too hot.
Cool, while Simon's doing the drain over there, I'm going to go and look at the plumbing in here. So over here there's going to be a shower, and then this is for the toilet, and then finally over here, this is where the sink is going to be.
By this time, Omar went back to the UK to work for several weeks to keep funding this renovation. It was time to render the interior walls with the final coat. This third coat uses a finer mix with a 3:1 ratio of yellow sand to lime. It's applied in an upward motion, then compacted using a float in a figure-of-8 movement to reveal any low and high points that need to be filled in with more render. Inside, we chose birch wood for the windowsills because of its beautiful pale color. The door frame would also be made of birch. By compromising and saving money on the exterior lintel and sill, we were able to invest a bit more in the interior look. We also experimented with finding the right mix to grout the stones. Using different shades of black pigment, we settled on a charcoal tone that blends well with the stones.
It looks brown.
Yeah. Do a tiny bit at a time. Try and build it up to it.
Yeah.
What I'll do, I'll go over these again as they dry. Just gonna have one more coat after this, the top coat.
We then moved outside to apply the second coat of render, being extra careful around the stones. The space between the tiles and the wall was filled to prevent any animals from getting through. The tiles are cut now this way, but in the future the roof will be extended towards the main property and an outdoor barbecue area will be built. Okay, so the room, update on the room. We've also installed a split unit. That was yesterday. I didn't film it because, you know, didn't want to disturb the guys and be filming them with a camera.
The windowsill.
Yes! Well done!
Finally, it was time to install this double glazed window we bought online secondhand.
Wow! Amazing! I like it so much! Yes! Oh, se ve hermoso! Wow!
You remember when I said we left for 4 months back to the UK? That's when this room became my mom's room. 9 months prior, my dad passed away and my mom moved to Portugal with us. Today is Monday and Simon is going to be sanding the beam, and also he's been treating some other wood because the tongue and roof that we bought is natural because it's cheaper, and then we varnish it and it will be the same. It's really loud.
It is, yeah.
I'm I'm not sure if you've noticed, but none of the walls here are completely straight, and there are angles everywhere, as viewed from above. This means the tongue and groove needs to be cut at angles to fit the ceiling, which is not easy feat. If we have tried to make this room more square, we would have lost a lot of space. That's why we just prefer to work with the existing layout.
Ooh, first try.
Bit around it.
One thing led to another, and at this stage we realized we really needed to start the bathroom plumbing. This was essential so we could render the walls and install the ceiling. Then all the plumbing was covered with mortar and the final coat was applied. Additionally, a hatch was made in the ceiling for easy access to what is now a loft. After the final render had completely dried, the ceiling frame was installed. We then used waterproof plasterboard to cover the ceiling. The concrete floor was then coated with a silicone-based waterproofing, requiring 2 coats for a good seal. Then we added a 3mm thick insulation and a damp-proof layer.
And that needs to be taller, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be restoring this wooden door.
Tudo bem consigo.
Tudo bem, obrigada.
Put your light.
Next, we started laying the floor tiles. We picked a simple design for the main area and a similar one for the shower, but with texture so it prevents slipping.
So I had lots of help from my other brother-in-law, Daz, and he put together most of the structure very, very nicely. I have to say it hugs the wall. But one of the things that we did was that we used the standard measurements for a kitchen, because this is, at the end of the day, like a carcass for a kitchen. And then we realized it's way too high. So basically what I'm doing right now is just shortening it by about 12 centimeters, so it will be a standard bathroom sink height.
We thought about adding a shower tray as well, but since the area isn't square, it was a lot easier to make one ourselves.
Should work.
One of the challenges we faced in this room was dealing with the stone walls that we didn't take down. This outbuilding had been exposed to the elements for a long time, causing moisture in the stone to lead to efflorescence, where salts are drawn out and appear on the surface. While this isn't unhealthy, it is very unappealing. To address this, we plan to tank or seal the inside of the stone walls. I'm using here an anti-saline solution to minimize it, and we had to reapply it several times.
here we go. Hopefully they're aligned.
Since at least 3 walls were still made of stone, we decided to use natural paints with our acrylics. My mom chose a pistachio color for the room. It's time to paint the bathroom. I'm going to be using the same paint that we use for the bedroom, which is silica mineral paint, and it's a different color. It's a Branco Nouveau, which is like an off-white. The final task was to make a door for the bathroom. Since we couldn't find anything we liked, we decided to try making a barn-style wooden doors ourselves.
It's got to get exactly.
Wow, I see now. Oh, okay. Lovely. ¿Te gusta tu cuarto?
Me encanta. Me encanta.
¿Qué te parece?
Relajante, fresco, hermoso, bonito. Me encanta.
Hay que acabar algunas cosas.
Sí, poco a poco.
Omar and I learned new skills. Simon fulfilled his wish of building a structure from start to finish, and we had some great people involved in our project. This is part of a much larger renovation of our abandoned farm in Portugal. Click here to watch our journey from the beginning, or click here to watch a video recommended to you. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you very soon.